Hi. All right. Yesterday I made a tutorial on how to make my version of a powder coating fluidization chamber, which is right here. I really wanted to know how to use it. So, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to powder coat this peace dollar. It's not a great ring. It doesn't have a lot of detail in it. You know, it's just kind of a blah ring. The ringing part came out fine, but there's nothing much to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to powder coat this completely blue, inside and out, just so you can see the process of using the fluidization chamber and how beautiful a coat it's going to put on this ring. Um, So we're going to do that. If you want to do other things to other rings, that's your business. But I just want you to see the fluidization chamber in action. Okay, besides the fluidization chamber, which we have here, you'll need a little air pump for fish tanks to power it. And to really get good at powder coating, you're going to need some of these silicone plugs. And they come in all sorts of different sizes. This is a mixed bag of different sizes. These are some really big ones. Here's some that I've used. And this is going to help you protect the inside of your ring so that if you're powder coating it, you won't get any powder coat on the inside of the ring, like so. All right, so you're going to want some of those. You're going to want some wire to hang things from. And then these are the little magic trick here. These are nothing more than the arms for metal spring clips. And they work really great for holding a ring. And in this instance, because I'm going to dip the whole thing, I'm going to use one of these to dip it so that it will get coated completely on both the inside and the outside of the ring. This would be the fantastic way to dip in clear coat, so clear powder coat. So I'm going to be using these today instead of a silicone plug and a little wire hanger that I make. All right. Okay, with my fluidization chamber, this was just a cap here to protect the powder coat that's inside. So after you get it built, you're going to want to put about 1 inch to 2 inches of powder inside the fluidization chamber. And if I take this little paintbrush and dip it down in here, we'll see I've got about 1.5 inches worth of powder in there right now. All right. A little more would be fine, but if you overfill this thing, it's going to start to come out of the container and get all over your workbench. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in the fluidization chamber and let you see inside of it. I hope you can see this really well. All right, the air is now running, okay? And right now, you probably don't see a whole lot of activity, okay? So I'm going to dial up my air. Okay, now you can see it kind of boiling. All right, those are the little volcanoes. Now, I don't want the little volcanoes, okay? I just want a very soft surface. So I might actually turn that back just a little bit to keep those down. You definitely don't want it boiling up out over the top. Now see, in mine, you really don't see any surface movement. And that's all right. If I take that paintbrush back and stick it in here and give it a gentle stir, this is very soft, and it's almost like there's nothing in there at all. All right? So that's about how I want it. I'm just below the little things, because remember what we're doing is we're going to actually dip down into the powder. We're not trying to get powder suspended in air. We're going to dip down into the powder, okay? All we're trying to do is make sure that the powder stays soft by infusing it with air and keeping it fluffed up, so to speak. Okay, so right about there is how I want it. Um, Yours may have a little bit of a boiling look to the surface, and that's actually better. But this is what I've got, and this is what I'm going to work with. Okay? Okay, for the next part, I'm going to be going handheld, and so we may get a little jittery. Um, but I want you to be able to see everything really well, so I'm going to try and do this one-handed and go from there. So we're going to switch over to the toaster oven and then get the dip, and hopefully you can get to see a finished results. Okay, the toaster oven is nice and hot. Okay, right now I've got it at, let's go to about 400 degrees. I've just got it on. All right, we'll open that sucker up. Just set our ring in there. All right, and so we're gonna go for about 45 seconds to a minute. And then we're gonna go straight over to the fluidization chamber. And let's take a look inside there again. Okay, there you can see not a lot of activity. But I can assure you that is a really, really soft powder bed. And like I said, I can always turn it up a hair. So you can see that air is actually filtering up through it, but that's not how you want it. That's closer to what you want right there. Right about there. Okay. And like I said, what you can do, sorry about the vibrations, you can just kind of give it a quick little soft stir, making sure you don't disrupt the membrane underneath. Okay, now that is really, really soft, and the ring is going to dip down in there like there's nothing there. That's going to give us a really, really beautiful coat. All right, let's go back and check this toaster oven here. Okay, there's my ring. Getting nice and hot. Now, the hotter your ring is, the faster you're going to have to do this. And I've actually had to dip it once or twice. But I'm going to go ahead and dip it right now, and I might not have to put it back in here to flow it, and it depends on how this is going to work out. But let's go ahead and do the dip. All right, here we go. Open up, say okay, here we go. Ready? You see it already kind of basically flowed almost immediately. Look how pretty that is. In fact, it flowed so nicely already, I'm just going to go ahead and hang it to cool, and I'm not going to do anything else to it right now. Alright, close the toaster oven back up. Okay. Let's see if I can get a good shot of that. Look at the finish on that. Absolutely perfect. And when I dipped it in there, it was like dipping it in water. And if anything, maybe I had the ring a little bit too hot and have a little too much powder coat on there. So if I was going to sand down to details, that might be a problem. But short of that, you're not going to get a better finish. And you can get inside, outside, the whole 9 yards. You're not going to get it better. And here we are back inside the fluidization chamber. See, some people get a nice, almost boiling looking surface. I don't generally get that. But anyhow, after that, you can do whatever it is that you're going to want to do with your rings, whether it be sand them down to pop the details or what have you. Okay, that's pretty much all there is to it. I'm going to wait and let that dry and cool off. And then I might strip that back down and so I can keep screwing around with it. Or I might even cure it. But that's the only thing left is to decide what I want to do, whether I want to cure it or whatever. So that's how the fluidization chamber works. Very simple. It works great. It gives me an amazing coat on my rings. I love it. Make one today.